Opie Radio.
You got carried away. And we're off and running with the Opie Radio podcast. It's me and Carl Ruiz, the Cuban. You got carried away, huh? You thought those guys might jump us?
I already had a whole plan. Did you hear my plan? It was awesome. They were going over the railing, throwing out free elbows, throwing out lefts like they're nickels.
I loved your plan until you realized they were just high school kids minding their own business.
And then I said, I just overreacted, Opie. Let's just wrap this up. Nothing's going to happen here.
Were you stereotyping a little bit?
Well, why else would I come up with a fight plan? You got to know who you're dealing with. Know your opponent.
Of course.
That book, Shang Shou, Art of War or something.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a great book.
Oh, it's the best. My wife must have read that.
Oh, you gave me hiccups. Less than a minute in, I already got hiccups with talking to Carl.
What's going on, Ope?
I'm good, brother. I'm good.
How far till the beers?
Well, first of all, we're taking a little stroll. Isn't it wonderful to be outside, early summer, getting a beer with your pal?
No. And I'm going to tell you why no. The humidity here is ridiculous. You can make cigars in New York City. I don't know what's going on, but the humidity in the last couple of years has been ridiculous. I'm out.
Well, that would be global warming, sir.
I don't care about that. And that's not real.
No, global warming is real.
It's too complicated. I tried to figure it out. I'm out. It's not happening.
So just because you can't figure it out, you don't believe in it?
Well, here's the problem. My problem is I attach issues to the people that bring them to me. And the people that come to talk to me about global warming, it's like their friend with the records. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I don't like the person. Maybe he's right. Maybe we are dying. But I hate the person that's telling me.
Now, scientists have proven that global warming is real. And so I'm going to go with what they think.
Scientists are nerds, and they don't get any girls, so they're skewed. Their opinions are skewed.
No, that's why their opinions are everything. They can focus all their time on figuring out if we have global warming or not.
You're 100% wrong.
How am I 100% wrong?
Nerds, what they're doing is they're upset that they're not getting girls, so they come up with all these plans, so they ruin the cool guy's day. Like, now we gotta worry and this and that, and girls are all upset. It's a way that nerds get girls. That's what computers are. You ever go to Silicon Valley? Those nerds got the hottest girls.
No, they don't. And I'm going to prove you wrong, Carl, because you do have great street knowledge, and I've learned a lot from you. But let's do a little simple test right now.
Okay.
What was your hobby growing up?
Girls.
Before girls. That's the punchline, you son of a bitch.
Waiting for girls.
Every boy had a hobby that they were really, really into and obsessed about.
Right.
And then when those hormones hit and you discovered girls, it was all over.
Right.
Scientists never discovered girls.
Those people can't be trusted.
They can absolutely be trusted.
Have you ever watched every movie? The villains, the really bad ones? Like Dr. Shabago or whatever the hell. They didn't get any girls. That's why they were killing everybody.
But we're not going to get anywhere. My point is, because they never got the girls, they had a lot more time to think about real shit happening in the world.
They had a lot more time to screw the guys that were getting girls over. That's what the hell did you just do? I just had 13 aneurysms. What is this, a bike highway? I hate this city.
That guy! First of all, I pulled the Bob Kelly on you. Bob Kelly used to do that to me all the time on the streets in New York. He would just grab you at a crosswalk and go, watch out! And you would jump out of your skin, and then he would point at you and laugh in front of everybody. I just did that to you. But then a bike came flying through, and did you hear that car horn? That was on his bike.
Dude, that guy's like super Mexican.
He almost got run over by a bike. That would have been a wonderful podcast. It would have been our shortest podcast, but we would have got a lot of downloads.
Me getting killed by a bike.
And it took us out of that dumb scientist argument.
I'm totally right about the scientist thing.
All right, where do you want to sit? We got to sit. We're going to have a beer, and we're going to continue podcasting. We're down near the Hudson River. You know, this is a gorgeous spot, and it's not over there. No, that's a terrible spot.
Close to the bar.
You can't walk a couple of here. Let's go get some drinks. Jesus Christ.
Do they have bourbon here?
I don't know if they have a full bar, but
this place is the worst.
I think it's awesome. Why don't we wait in line here? We're going to grab drinks, and then you're going to hear kind of maybe a jump cut Or maybe Joey jumps in right now and sets up us sitting somewhere as we continue talking.
Okay, Opie, no problem. I'll just stop whatever it is I'm doing right now and set the scene. Well, you have Opie walking around with his new tape recorder that Westwood One gave him. He's basically starting over, in his own words.
I want to start from nothing.
As he loves to do, again and again. Then you have celebrity chef Carl Ruiz, TV star, Food Network, Guy's Grocery Games winner. He's a big fucking deal. They're in New York City, center of the world, on a beautiful but humid day. Carl wants to have a drink, most likely break bread too if I know Carl. They're staring out at the magnificent Hudson River, and you get the sense that the Cuban's getting a bit perturbed with our host, borderline angry. Well, there are literally tens of places that have air conditioning, good beer, great food, but no. Opie chooses to take Carl to a place most guys bring their girlfriends for lunch during the work week to break up with them. Pretty much a glorified dog park. Get the picture? Now back to the two lovebirds.
All right, so we got our beers. We are now sitting out on the Hudson River, actually, me and Carl, and it's a wonderful afternoon, isn't it, Carl?
There's a dog that doesn't stop yelping, and I'm going to kill the dog.
You're not happy? I'm not happy with this dog.
You're already rolling your eyes. You're like, oh, great.
Yeah, you and your dog. That's great. Don't worry about everybody else sitting out here trying to enjoy a wonderful afternoon. Oh, boy, it's whining. It's ready to yelp again. It's gearing up.
I can't stop laughing. Annoyed, entitled Opie is my favorite.
I'm not entitled. This is
Clash of the Entitles down here. Like, high-end, Upper West Side. We're on the water. They're drinking a $9 bottle of rosé they paid $7,000 for.
But in this moment, I'm just a regular person annoyed by someone's dog because they don't give a fuck about anyone. You hear me?
I'm going to start smoking.
Oh, she'll jump right up and be bothered by you smoking a cigarette, ignoring the fact that her dog is driving everyone nuts down here.
That's so funny.
Anyway, we're at the Hudson River. Sully landed his plane right out here, Carl. Little history, though.
Good old Sully Sullenberger. The Jersey ferries came and helped them out.
Well, how about this? My wife saw the entire thing go down.
You told me the story. It was an awesome story.
Well, I want to tell it for the podcast. Couldn't you make believe you never heard the story? Then I tell the story, and you throw in a couple like wows, and then
let's do it again. Good.
You know, my wife was an eyewitness to that whole Sully thing.
I know. She told me the story. Sorry, I'm salty because of the dog.
I'm so salty. This dog will so be part of this podcast. I can guarantee it.
We're going to get in trouble down here.
Anyway, so, no, what happened was I went to the gym that day when Sully landed in the Hudson River.
Ooh.
And my apartment at the time had a beautiful view of the Hudson River. And my brother-in-law was up from Philly, AJ, with his friends. They were going to, which one? I think they were going to, okay, great. Bark your goddamn head off.
I can't. Oh, God. Let me take my rings and my jewelry off.
I just hate people that don't give a fuck that others are in the area and might be bothered by their barking dog or their crying baby. That's another one. I was at our place, Subway Sushi, the other day.
Bad baby?
Horrible baby. And this is all I've asked, because I got 2 kids. You know, you have kids, or well, your kids are older now, but...
That's what they tell me.
Oh, my God. And this is all I ask, and this is what we try to do. If you got a crying baby, just at least make the effort to try to calm the baby down or walk out of the situation.
The problem is you take these people take these babies places they're not supposed to be. There's places where people understand. You know what I mean? You go to the mall with you say little kid stores and shit. Everyone's crying with boogers and shit in their pants. But they try to take them to adult places. That's my problem. Right. That modern parents don't want to change their lifestyle. Bro, get out of my wine bar. Go to Dave & Buster's with the rest of you and leave me alone.
We're almost on the same page, but now they're in the wine bar. Their kid starts crying bloody murder, and they sit there and look at you like, what are you going to do? It's a baby. deal with it instead of like trying to give it a pacifier, calm it down, and then if it's really bad, maybe take the kid outside for a little while, and if that doesn't work, then go the fuck home.
Well, it's a fundamental change in the way people think about things, right? When I grew up, the baby was wrong and the people were right. But now the baby's right and the people are wrong. And I see it in all types of society. You know, children are just given carte blanche because they're children. And that's why they stay children. Because if I knew that at 12 I can get away with everything, I'd stay 12. Because that was a good look for me, right? And that's what happens. There's so many man adults, like baby adults, walking around with this little entitlement. It's from how growing them up. Like I see these young kids, like every time I punch a new kid in the face, you could tell their face. They're like, I didn't think that was going to happen. I'm like, yes, it did happen.
These kids today, they truly believe they will never get hit. I think that might be a problem.
So I was at a bar not far from here last year, and I was on a tear. And there was a kid, no more than 22 years old, my size, maybe a little bit bigger. I don't pick fights with people that are going to rip my head off, you know what I mean? And he's making fun of me. He's making fun of me because I'm on the phone and I don't know how to spell. So I'm speaking out the text messages, and if you've seen my text messages, they're very vulgar, right?
And very uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable.
Because I'm like, why would he spell that word that way?
Right, exactly. So the kid is mocking me, and I could see it, and I just about had it. And I'm like 5 Jim Beams in. I get up from my bar stool. He's sitting there. He puts his head down, and I punch him as hard as I can on the side of his head. He gets up from the stool, stumbles. Now he looks at me. His friend's like, yo, man, what's that all about, man? And I just look at him. The kid just starts crying. He's never been touched. I took his virginity.
That's a beautiful story.
And he just started crying, and then I was like, I got to get out of here because I just punched a kid in the face.
Yeah, because now it's going to be your problem.
Right.
But in the old days, when you acted up and someone punching you in the face, you fought back and you learned your lesson, and you didn't get authorities involved in most cases. These kids today, though, sorry, now you got me going. Anything like that, and they're immediately on their phone calling the cops.
And you know why I didn't get in trouble? I didn't realize until I was walking out. I did a Terminator scan of the room. Both those dum-dums that were at the bar were charging their phones behind the bar. Because if not, one of them would have pulled out the camera and I would be screwed.
Oh, man, that's lucky.
I couldn't. It was just, it's almost like God said, Carl, punch this kid in the face. And it was on the side of the head, like his ear, temple area. And he had like that 80s enough haircut. And his hair went everywhere. And I thought he was going to fight. But he just started crying like a little.
I'll tell you, being a parent and knowing where we came from and my kids having no idea how it used to be, sometimes is really frustrating. Some of the things they say and do, and I got good kids, but they're also kids. I would have never got away with half the shit that my kids get away with, and sometimes I had to bite my lip before I just lose my effing mind.
My kids are straight brats.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because Marie...
How do you handle that?
Well, obviously they handled it for me. That was our biggest clash. I'm very old school, and Marie was, I guess, just wanted to be their best friend. You know what I mean? So it was. I'm like, I ain't friends with nobody. My job is to give you a skill set to survive. I'm going to make believe I'm the person that's going to not give you that job for the rest of your life, because that's how I was raised.
Yeah, well, I mean, you just said exactly what my dad used to tell us. He's like, I'm not here to be your friend. Right. Although we had a great relationship with my dad and loved him to death, but he would time and time again tell us, I'm not here to be your friend. Right. Which was actually devastating the first time I heard it, but now as an older adult, I totally understand it.
I like her.
I think you like Asian, huh?
I do.
Because so far you've been looking at nothing but the Asian girls.
Well, they're so nice. And they age very slowly.
They're the crock pot of women. I don't even know if that made sense, but I was trying. I was trying for some food humor.
Like my people, my Latino people, like the women look 30 at 18. They're ready to go. But at 30, it's...
They're in the broil. Fuck. I messed it up. Oh, I wanted to say they were in the broiler.
They were.
Little food humor.
Oh, I wanted that joke to happen.
I don't know if it was the half a beer I drank or the humidity out here today.
You're drinking a very good beer. Founders All Day IPA. I enjoy that beer a lot.
I don't like IPAs, as we discussed on past podcasts, but this Founders IPA is definitely all right.
And I'm drinking bourbon.
Yeah, you don't really enjoy your beer. You drink the beer so you could drink the bourbon. I noticed that.
Oh, this is a long week. I finally signed the restaurant off. We're done.
How did that feel?
It felt like someone stole my child. It felt everything bad. I felt even my attorney. Now, you know, attorneys are like, how can I say it? They're very callous, right? They're professional negotiators. They have no emotion. So this was my business attorney that I've had since I opened the restaurant 10 years ago. And I used to come and pay this guy when I had no money because, the restaurant just opened and it was bleeding cash. And, you know what I mean? I sold everything to make it happen, And I was the only one doing that. Because, Marie doesn't have any money and her parents, they have alligator arms. Like they'll never make it into their pockets. You know what I mean? They're just along for the ride. You know what I mean? When I do great, they're happy. When I do bad, I'm a piece of junk.
Oh, that's just wonderful.
Oh, they were my favorite. Miss them. So,
but I got to set this up a little bit for the people that don't know. You had your own restaurant down there in Chatham, New Jersey. It was called Marie's, and you could just feel the passion that you had for that place when you walked into it. It was absolutely like having another child, and you really, really had pride in that place. And the food was amazing. Your clientele was amazing. I used to love hanging out down there because it was just a great, great hang from top to bottom.
It was funny, and you really did. You know when I realized you loved it there? When after you got fired from SiriusXM, unjustly, that's the first time you showed your head when you came down to the restaurant. Remember me, Sherrod, and was Vic there?
No, Vic wasn't there. I do have to explain that because now you're saying something else. So when I got fired from SiriusXM unjustly, and I want to talk about that today, actually, we probably should take this podcast on a more of a serious tone because I got some things to say too as well. But getting back to that point, when I got fired, the first thing I wanted to do, and this is going to sound a little gee, but you know what? This is real emotion and real honesty. Like, I felt like I had to go down to Marie's in Chatham to thank you.
Why thank me? Nobody thanks me.
Because that last couple of years of radio I was doing at SiriusXM with you and Vic Henley and Sherrod. You throw in Chris DiStefano and you throw in Theo Vaughn and a few of the other guys, Mark Norman, Rich Voss before he became an asshole, and Judy Gold and Doug Benson. It honestly was two of the best years of radio I've ever done in my entire life. I enjoyed the hell out of that. And when we got unjustly fired, I felt like I needed to go down there to thank you personally because you were a big catalyst to that for whatever reason.
Thank you, man. The way that I ended up at SiriusXM was weird. You know what I mean? Like you found me and stuff, and then I started doing that show at Roland Food Court. I hope he listens to this. You owe me $115,000, Roland. I just meeting you guys. Being a fan for so long and actually sitting in the room. You know what I mean? I remember the first time, like, listening to you and Jim and Kumia, like, in real time was like being at a batting practice at the Yankees. And you know what I mean? Like, it was the most unbelievable thing to see. I'm like, holy shit. Like, look at these guys, One guy's a sniper, one guy's fast, one guy puts the show together. You know what I mean? I see all these other people in the room, which I later realized they don't really do anything, but they were there.
Oh my God. You're not wrong.
A lot of extra.
You're not wrong. E-Rock absolutely did a lot.
I'm not saying E-Rock. I'm saying
No, but they're going to hear this, and then I got to deal with more bullshit and more hate. So, the one thing I'm trying to do on this podcast is keep it very real and very honest. E-Rock did a lot for me over the years. I just wish he believed in the last version of the show because I had some heart-to-hearts with a guy and sat him down and said, look, this is a different world now, because me and him went through a lot of shit over the years, and I said, this is working. I got chemistry with these guys. We're all having a really good time, and I just want you to be a part of it, and I want you to be on board. I don't think he actually ever got there, unfortunately. He did at times, but I think there was too much shit that happened in the past that unfortunately he couldn't get over.
I definitely don't know E-Rock as well as you, though. But one thing I will say.
I'll say this: I love E-Rock. He's got a very good podcast, and I have nothing but love for the guy, and wish him the best. And I would absolutely work with him again.
The thing is, what I noticed when I was there is that little back office that they all took was a very toxic little room, right? In defense of E-Rock, just of my own statements, in defense of E-Rock, I think he probably figured before we did that the writing was on the wall. You know what I mean? He probably heard whispers and shit, and he knew. And
oh no, he flat out told me. That's why I love the guy. He
see, so we're on the same page. E-Rock at the end was like, dude, you're getting fired no matter what.
He came to me one day and he said, watch your back. Jim and Sam are going for your morning show. And I laughed at him like, that's crazy. That's ridiculous. There's no fucking way that's happening. I know me and Jimmy aren't getting along, but that's nuts. And that's exactly what ended up happening in the end.
I don't know anything about that one.
Carl's keeping out of it.
I'm out of it. No, I'm gonna stay out of that one because I wasn't involved in it. You know what I mean? And
no, that's more than fair, to be honest with you. But back to your point with being in that studio with other guys that didn't really do much. That is so true. I brought so many guys onto this radio show that more or less ran itself, and then these guys would get massive heads. And Sherrod said it perfectly one day. We were walking, we were walking somewhere after the show. Those guys are standing so close to the oven, they think the heat's coming off them.
Right, it's true. And you know, and I saw it in real life. You know what I mean? I saw it. Just the egos, the unnecessary egos, but seriously, it breeds that, man. Like, you know what I mean? The culture there was probably one of the most dysfunctional corporate cultures I ever saw. You know, I was close with Roland. You know, I basically afforded his lifestyle for 3 years. You know, you came to my house.
Look, we're getting a lot of newer people listening to this podcast. That's why I got to stop and just kind of fill in the blanks as a radio guy. So Roland is a guy that I hired many, many years ago to be the booker for the radio show. He was very good at booking a radio show. He really was. I'll give him that much credit. He lied on his resume initially, and Steve Blatter came to me and said, I can't hire this fucking guy. He lied on his resume. And I go, who cares? It's a little lie. I forgot what the lie was, but it was really a little lie.
His weight or height?
This is what's so fucked up, because in the end, Roland got me fired. I vouched for him, and I said, look, Steve, it's a little lie. It's no big deal. You know he's good at booking radio. Let's just move past this. And Blatter, to his credit, said, okay, fine. But, you know, I do want you to know that we usually don't hire people that lie like this. And I'm like, all right, but, you know, it'll pay off in the end. Anyway, so that's Roland.
So they wouldn't hire Roland, but they hired all those other people on that radio station? That one guy from Britain or something, and the other, they were not good.
Oh, Jason Ellis and Cavino and Rich.
Yeah, they were laugh riot.
I swear to God, I've met Cavino and Rich. I've had
they're really nice. They're like J. Crew models.
Really nice guys. But it has to be said, in all these years being associated with SiriusXM, I've never seen one tweet from a Cavino and Rich fan on my Twitter. Like, I don't know how they have flown under the radar for so long. They can't have a buzz in such a way that Sirius is happy about it.
They have a buzz like, that's how they have a buzz. But it's just so funny. Like, I remember one time, the first time
But they're really nice guys.
But the first time, like, I was, you know, listening to this thing, and I'm like, what 1988 thing is this? It was crazy, bro. And they're going to outlast everybody, which is what's so funny. And it's corporate America. That's what it's all about. You know what I mean?
I mean, they're really nice guys. I don't get it. I personally don't get it. I've never seen them build an actual audience for SiriusXM, but they survive. And a little story about Cavino and Rich told to me by, I'm naming names. I don't give a fuck anymore. Jeremy Coleman, who I used to be really, really tight with.
Who's that?
When I was at NEW, he was the PD. I actually literally gave him a career. He came up to New York from Washington, and he was our PD. Really nice guy, but he didn't do anything as far as me and Anthony's success was back then. But I would do lunch with him 3 days a week, and we were friends, and blah, blah, blah. And then he moves over to Sirius, and then I'm at XM, and next thing you know, he doesn't like me anymore.
He doesn't like you?
I mean, he's cordial to me, but all of a sudden our relationship went dead, and I looked at him one day like, what the hell? What's up, bro? Why aren't we, friendly anymore? It was really, really strange. But anyway, back in the day, because of the success of Opie and Anthony, he was trying to recreate that with Cavino and Rich. This is a true story. They were supposed to be the new Opie and Anthony.
Wait a second.
I swear to God. I swear to God.
Do you realize what you and Kumio would do to those two head to head? If you guys went into a war when they were trying to recreate you, it would be a bloodshed. I mean, I listened to you guys when you guys were in the beginning, 99, 2000. You guys were nasty. I mean, just two awful people. And Anthony was like 5 awful people with the impersonations and shit. Like, he was doing crazy shit. And then fucking Jimmy with all his... Jim comes in full tilt crazy, just murdering guests. I'm not telling you, the third show, I stopped listening to Howard Stern. It was literally that. It was that much better. It was that much newer and fresher. And your guys, the comedy that you guys were doing was unbelievable. And to be honest with you, when it wasn't just you, I would get upset when there was a guest because I wasn't getting my full O&A and Jim, and I wasn't getting that. I was getting you guys tolerating some asshole.
Yeah, you had to be polite when the guest came in and play this dumb, stupid game.
But when you would lock on someone, Opie, on those old shows, holy shit, it was heaven. I'm like, I would almost hear the click, like, that guy's locked in, and then you just take them apart.
I just wish those guys would remember the past, smile when they think of the old Opie and Anthony show, and then just fucking move on, man. I just wish everyone could just move on. There's just so much fucking drama in that O&A community.
But maybe one day when everyone gets a little older, I don't know how much older you guys want to get, but if you get a little older, maybe for a fundraiser or something, we can get the band back together just for one day.
I've simply taken the high road with that whole thing. I mean, that is a fact. You go on my social media, you listen to the radio shows since Opie and Anthony, you're not going to really hear that much bullshit.
With all due respect, all three of you guys, high road's not your thing.
Oh no, I've been taking
killers. You guys are straight killers.
Yeah, but for real, I've been taking the high road ever since the breakup, as much as I can.
Yeah, well, you know what? The problem is
what I hate is, I'll tell you this much. What I hate is the fact that, they want to point fingers at me and blame me for everything that went on and this and that. The fact is, me and Anthony didn't get along since probably 1999 or 2000. We really weren't friends anymore, but we understood that we had great chemistry, and the radio show was a rocket ship. And then you fast forward a whole bunch of years, and everyone wants to point fingers at me and say he was the problem. That's why the show broke up, and that's why this happened, and that's why that happened. And I have taken credit for a bunch of the things I've done over the years. I've worked on myself. I have been going to therapy for a really, really long time. And for that
shaman shit, right?
And a little shaman shit that we'll get to.
That story. You know that? I hate that you brought a shot. I know that. I'm sorry. All the O&A fans are going to get mad that I just jumped in there. They're like, get this nobody out of here. But let me tell you something. That shaman thing sucks balls. Go ahead, continue.
This is what I'll say today. It's really, really simple, man. I believe I have taken credit for a bunch of the stuff that happened over the years. I believe I absolutely have worked on myself. My friends and family know that I'm a different person. And for those guys to spin it and make it sound like I was the only problem and everything that happened, they want to blame me. I just can't accept that. I just wish, like, Jimmy and Anthony would start talking about the bullshit they brought to the show and the relationship and the situation, because it was no cakewalk, working with those guys either, and that needs to be told someday.
And I'm sure it's going to be told. I mean, Anthony's got a book coming out, right?
Oh, great!
You didn't know that?
I've heard, but I mean, honestly, and this is going to shock a lot of people. I don't really read. I don't really read. Is it that obvious?
You look at the picture books.
I got audible.com. I listen to books.
Oh, you're listening to The Art of the Deal.
You want to see a book that I'm currently?
Not at all.
No, I'm going to do this because well, I'm going to do this for the reaction that it's gonna get from you. All right. I got my audible.com app. Read what book I'm listening to right now.
I don't want this to happen to you. I don't want this to happen to you. I love you, man. You're a good friend of mine. I don't want this to happen to you.
Please read.
Do you know what happens when everybody else gets a hold of this? Okay.
I can't wait.
Holy shit. Give me this microphone. Okay, everybody. Oh, I'm speechless. He's reading The Seat of the Soul, Anniversary Edition, narrated by Gary Zufkloff, Maya Angelou, and Oprah Winfrey.
It's Oprah's favorite book of all time, and she had the author on her show dozens of times. Seat of the Soul, baby.
This is disgusting. What's it about? Getting soul up your butt?
Honestly, I can't honestly tell you what it's about yet because, like, I'm only...
Rich people droning about life and how to be successful?
About karma and working on your soul and, you know, navigating through this thing we call life.
Do you believe in karma?
I do, but not like how people say you do one bad thing, a horrendous, horrible, bad thing's going to happen to you.
I create karma. Like, if someone screws me, I go after them. Don't you think that's more effective than letting the chakra beads and nature and sea turtles decide if this guy's going to get his head chopped off?
Well, but I don't think that's actually karma. I mean, that's like eye for an eye shit.
Well, that's real karma.
I mean, people, you know, you do one bad thing. I did that cake stomp thing, which I truly, to this day, don't believe was a bad thing. If you understand the show and the person and the relationship we had with him, you know, it was something I did. I now regret it, unfortunately, because of
a dude's birthday cake.
Well, it was a Starbucks cake that he got out of the garbage, but whatever. To him, it was like the most valuable thing that he had in his possession. But the fact is, I would have never jumped on the guy's cake if it was just some random homeless dude that we were walking by. It was a guy we really knew him. But my point today, I mean, I don't really feel like rehashing that.
But like to talk like that book that you're reading.
Well, what I want to say is, no, I still don't regret that.
Get the sweaty white shirts. Oh God.
Oh, I thought you meant the white dog. What did I miss?
You missed a woman, Opie. No bra, white, button down, sweated through. I'd never seen it. That's a first for me.
That's very nice. I wish we could rewind this so I could see that. So now there's too much going on. So, like I said, I regret jumping on the guy's cake because of all the hell it has brought in my life over the years. And you know, a lot of the fans have really helped me to try to get the real story out there. Like I said, I would have never done it if the guy was just a random homeless dude. It was a guy we really knew, and he was a part of the show on a very regular basis, and we also took care of him. That doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter how much money you gave him, all that. But my point is, because of that, people go, karma's going to get you. But I believe karma is more your overall life, not just one particular incident. It's how you handle yourself in life, and that's, to me, you know, real karma.
I have a very black and white look on the world, right? If you make bad decisions, bad things happen. If you make
that's karma.
No, that's making a good decision and good things happening. If I hang out with a bunch of people with guns, I'm going to get shot, right? My chances of getting shot. I remember a friend of my brother's, a super nerd. I told him I was getting married. He told me, how old are you? I told him my age. He asked me questions about Marie. He was an actuary or something for the U.S. Treasury. Super smart guy, MIT guy. He asked me all the questions. How old is she? This and that. He says, okay. Goes on his little internet thing. He goes, I'm going to give you a scenario. I said, okay. He said, you're marrying this girl. You know, no money, bad credit, this and that. And you got all these problems. Both of you got different issues. He says, if I told you you had a 66.5% chance of getting shot if you walked down Avenue A, but you had a 0% chance of getting shot if you walked down Avenue B, which avenue would you walk down? I would go, well, B, 0%. He goes, well, your marriage is A.
Oh, wow. It's all about probability.
All probability. He figured out the problem, and he was dead nuts on.
Anyway, so where was I? So, Seat of the Soul. So, I mean, I've worked on myself. I know you don't really want to hear this, but I really have. I had a tough upbringing with a crazy mom, and I figured, you know, when I got married and had kids, I really had to work on myself, which I continue to do to this day. And so I really have taken the high road since the Opie and Anthony show has broken up. I'm not perfect. I absolutely have taken some little shots here and there, but you know, those guys have taken a lot of shots, continue to take a lot of shots, and I just wish they would move on. I mean, They obviously wanted me out of the picture a long time ago. I'm now out of the picture, so they got like an open road here. So, show the world what you could do, and don't worry about me and my little fucking podcast. And I would say this, like, Anthony wasn't a treat to work with either. And to ignore that part of the story is infuriating. Oh, this comes back because he's writing a book, I guess, right? You said?
Yeah, he's writing a book.
Whatever, but that's what I wish would happen, and I know that's just silly to say because, no one really wants that, unfortunately, in the O&A community, but I'm more than happy with... what we did together as a radio show, and I'm also extremely happy about what I'm doing now. So that's where I'm at.
I think that the way that all of you guys react to each other, it's like you guys are like old Navy SEALs, right? That had a bad mission, right? But you guys still respect each other on a different level, on a level that I would never know, because believe it or not, I mean, you guys changed the world. You know what I mean? You guys were ginormous. And that's something to be said. And together there was a chemistry that was unbelievable. I think.
How about this part of the unbelievable? That whole time we didn't like each other. Now that I have some time to reflect, I'm like, that is fucking nuts that we actually, when the mics went off, we barely talked to each other. We barely hung out with each other. We hung out when we had to at live events and TV shows and all that. But we simply didn't get along when the show was over. But as soon as those mics went on, we would look at each other and damn, we would get it done.
Well, and I think that it's something to be said that you guys cared about the fans more than you did about yourselves. And that caused a lot of personal pain. When you shut off everything that makes you happy to make people on the other side of the microphone happy that you'll never meet or never see, it gets to you. And let me tell you something, being on the Food Network and cooking and hanging out with people that, I hate, like people behind the scenes and people treating you like cattle. It's that, but that your mom's watching, your friends are watching, and then there's people in Minnesota watching, like little kid with cancer's watching. You know what I mean? You start to sacrifice yourself, and you get lost in that. And to have three giant personalities, I just think in the long run, everyone should shift to the positive of how beautiful it is what you did and how you took it to Stern. It was unbelievable. And I was thinking to myself, I listened to Howard Stern since I was a little kid. And I stopped for a second. I said, you know what? If I hear Jackie the Joke Man Martling one more time, I'm going to jump in the water. Even though, I thought that was the status quo.
Howard Stern is truly, and this is going to piss off a lot of people, extremely overrated in the last... Oh, God. I mean, we got to satellite in 2004. He joined right after that. I would honestly say he's been overrated for probably the last 10 years. And he's just living off the past and what he accomplished before that. And he has incredible name recognition. But I walk these streets every day. There was a time you couldn't go out of your house without someone...
walk the streets every day.
I really do, like a fucking crazy person. And, there was a time you left the house. You were going to hear about Howard Stern every single day. I am here to tell you that just simply doesn't happen at all anymore.
No shit.